Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Charlotte EDM's DJ Spotlight. For this month, we have Tuff, and how's it going, Tuff?
Hello, hello. How's it going?
Good, good. We managed to get her in, still here from her busy schedule. So, first of all, Tuff, well, what do you do? Like, what do you do as a, as an artist in the Charlotte scene?
So as what I mainly do, I try to I do run Tuff Sounds. So what I do is try to work with like local or regional based artists. I have worked with like artists like across the country or like in the Northeast area, but just like have an outlet for them where they wouldn't necessarily have like an outlet anywhere else. And I try to just represent like certain genres from those artists as well. So I like a very like underground hip-hoppy kind of like genre, so like halftime or like trap, but also just like try to help friends out with like an outlet for them to like release their music and mixes as well. I also work on graphic designing, so I try to like spread like as much of that as I can to like any artist that wants help with that pretty much. I do DJ, I do DJ. I have picked up production again this year. I've done production like on and off since like high school, but I like never took it so seriously, so it was just always kind of like something I picked up then like would drop off. But I think at the beginning of 2022 is like when I like have seriously like picked it up, and I've been like doing it pretty much since. And that's something that I want to get like into again, is like just having like production and like starting to do all that now. I do promote for like a couple companies out here like 9 Day and Future Pixels. And right now I do have an idea where I want to start getting into stage design, so I just start collecting like a bunch of stage props, and just like see if I can like help certain companies like bring like a stage to life kind of sense. But that's something that I'm like starting to like run in my head, so it's not anything that I have like been hands-on yet, but that's something that I do want to do in the future.
Okay. Wow, that's quite a list. Producing, promote, and stage design. How do you have time for that? Is it something that you're just passionate about, or do you struggle balancing your time with your personal life?
I definitely have been like struggling a little bit lately with like my day job. I finally like was able to like sit down and talk to them and be like, okay, I need like less time from this so I can like focus on the stuff that I really am passionate about and like want to like hit head first, you know what I mean? So I am really passionate about this, so that's why I'm like willing to like cut some hours from my day job to like fully focus on what I can. So it's really just like a balance, like what can I balance like for this week and next week, you know what I mean? And then there are like some times where I do have to like turn down some shows or like turn down like some graphic commissions because like I know I don't have time in between work or other gigs that are coming up. Okay. So it's just like finding a balance between everything that I can do.
And how did you get started with that? What sparked it? Like what pushed you to take it more serious, to take it to the next level?
I think like just diving into electronic music, like the more underground I got with the music, the more I was like, why isn't this stuff popular? You know what I mean? Like, why isn't there like an outlet for this kind of stuff? And so that's like what really like sparked the idea of doing the whole label thing in my head. I was like, okay, like I think like I can maybe try to do this myself, see what I can do, and try to be an outlet for that itself. And so that's kind of like what pushed me to do that. And then the DJing was pretty much the same thing, just like wanting to have underground music that you don't hear live. Like I wanted to be able to be that, just like play music that you're not going to hear live. So I pretty much just like want to push underground music that isn't like your everyday, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And just like have that like be an outlet or a channel to people who aren't exposed to that, just like in your regular like EDM circle.
How less popular was it when you first started? Was it hard to go to a show and get a good turnout?
What, with the DJing or with like what exactly?
In general, because you said you asked yourself why isn't this music more popular? But we see that the music is growing, at least in Charlotte. So how unpopular was it back then?
I think it just like isn't mainstream. You know what I mean? Like there is like an underground world where like if you're like connected to underground, like you do have this music being popular. But I think when I was like diving into the whole EDM world, like I was just hitting like the top of the underground. So that's kind of where I was like, okay, like why isn't this stuff mainstream and on big stages and like on these big labels or big like labels that are doing mixes? You know what I mean? So I think at that point I was still diving into the whole like levels of EDM and its community. So I would say that it probably was popular still in the underground scene. I just like hadn't fully like dived into it. Like I was just like scratching the surface, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now that I'm like, I could say definitely like I'm in that world and like scene now, like I can see like that it's way more popular now and the people who are in that world.
Okay. From what I can tell, you're big into the underground, right? Probably more than the mainstream. So,
Yeah. Music I'm listening to is like the UK, like European stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like that you're always helping local artists, because I saw that you created a new EP with local artists. How was that? How was that process?
So I pretty much just have to like lay out like a time span, I would say, yeah, and just like reach out to certain artists, give them like a time, being like, if you're interested, like if you guys want to like release some music on the compilation. The last one I just released was the 4th compilation, so it's like the 4th EP that I had released with local artists actually. So it's just like making sure that the time is set up right and like having constant communication with the artists, making sure that they're still interested, they're still like on their time. If I need to give them like a few more days to like finish up a track, like I'll have to do that, you know what I mean? Then I have to get the artwork set up for that and do like some promo art set up for that and just try to like make sure I announce everything on a timely manner so it like it's promoted properly, if that makes sense. So I think it's all just about time management and the way you promote it, and then just like constant communication with the artists that you're going to be working with, and also like learning a balance of like not bugging an artist, like if they like kind of lose interest, just like, you know, like I don't want to bug someone and being like, hey, are you going to still release my thing? Are you going to still release my thing? You know what I mean? Like just knowing the balance between like if someone is truly interested or if there was like something that they were kind of like, maybe I do want to do that, maybe not. So it's just like kind of knowing your position, knowing the time management, communicating with artists, promoting properly, because that's something that's really big. Something that I do want to do with the whole label thing right now is get more team members on the label. So I have like more of a team, because right now it's just kind of me and myself. So it does take up a lot of like my energy, like trying to focus on everything. But yeah, that's pretty much like what it is. It's just like having everything like laid out correctly in a timely manner, promoting it right, constant communication kind of thing. I know I just repeated that, but yeah, it's pretty much what it is.
That's cool, and I'm sure, like we spoke earlier, that's gotta be super time consuming, going back and forth between different artists and making sure it works, right? Because did you have anybody who you've tried to work, you like their work as an artist, but it just, for whatever reason, it just couldn't work? Is that something that happened when you were creating this EP?
I would say yes, but I think because Tuff Sounds is still like at a local level, the artists that I were reaching out to were like a little bit above that, which is completely okay, you know what I mean? Like it happens, you know, they have like other bigger labels that they want to focus on, and that's completely like okay and like reasonable. But that would be like the reason why, because they would probably just focus on other releases that like would be a more of advantage for them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do want to make like a name for the whole Tuff and Tuff Sounds thing, so that's kind of like why I'm just like, so like I want to do this, nah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's March, right? Women's Appreciation Day.
Yes.
Month.
Yes.
So regarding the scene, regarding electronic dance music, and you personally, I wanted to ask, how did you suffer any struggles as a woman, or do you see what struggles do you see in other women when they're in the scene? Do they suffer? Do you see it personally, or how big is it?
I think that when it comes to the women in the industry as a whole, or if it just comes like from the artistry side, I feel like sometimes we have to just kind of try harder because there are, and I haven't faced this personally, but I know that there are people out there who say like, oh, she only has it because she's a girl. You know what I mean? So I think we have to try harder, and we have to maybe try to be like a little bit more different to stand out. Just so, we're recognized, because I do know that there are people out there who just like will blatantly say like, oh, they just got it because they're a girl. You know what I mean?
And
so that.
Then,
I'm sorry, continue.
Not to interrupt, but there's like big artists that say that too. Like I've seen Rest say like, hey, like people have been targeting me just because I'm a girl. And Charlotte DeWitt, she's also said it in a couple of interviews, saying that, hey, they just think that I'm sleeping with the promoters. So if it's happening to DJs of that profile, I can't imagine like local DJs how common that is. So unfortunately. But go ahead.
But yeah, pretty much as what I was saying. I feel like we do have to try to stand out a little bit in like certain ways, whether it's just like our branding or our music style or our production or something, just so we're not like targeted as in like oh, she's just a girl, you know what I mean? Like people like her because she's a girl only. So there's more of like we have to prove it to ourselves and other people that it's not just because we're girls, it's like because we're passionate just like as every other person that's involved as well. I think that's the struggles that girls go through in this industry, and also just like not necessarily like, let's say like you put an idea out there for something, like some guys just kind of like don't really take girls' opinions like 100%, but that's not speaking for everyone and like all the guys obviously. But I know that in some cases, like sometimes girls are just kind of like brushed off when it comes to like putting out ideas or like trying to manifest or like bring together like an actual like project or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, like as I was saying, like I feel like we have to prove it to ourselves and like the community and industry like a little bit more differently than just guys do. I feel like that is what girls have to go through.
Do you think you've been given or taken, or you've been given opportunities or have been taken opportunities just for being a girl? Because you said you haven't really experienced it, but I want to know like, have you noticed, or do you think that has happened to you?
I don't personally think so, but that it could be something that I'm not aware of either. You know what I mean? Like I don't know like what a promoter could be thinking like about me, if that makes sense. But I personally have not felt that for myself, or felt like I didn't get an opportunity because I'm a girl, or I did get an opportunity because I'm a girl. I feel like my music taste kind of stands out a little bit, so that might be like why that puts me in like just like a little bit of a different spot, So like I said, like sometimes like your style or production or the way you do things just kind of has to stand out for you to stand out as like an artist, So I think any of the opportunities that I have been given is just because I'm kind of like in a certain box with my sound, and like people are into that. But I don't think it's because of me being a girl.
Okay. So do you think it happens to other females so more frequent? Because you said you wouldn't see it, or you wouldn't have noticed it. So do you think it happens to them and they don't notice it either? Or like how common, I guess my question would be, how common do you think it is in the area? Because I don't see it. Like I know the problem exists, like I know it's there, but I haven't seen it. So
yes. I know that in the local area, I can't really speak for the local area honestly, because I'm not I'm just not trying to like put words in anyone's mouth or speak for anyone else. That's why it's like a hard question for me to like answer. I don't know, to be honest.
Okay.
I can't
That's
speak
fair.
for anyone's experience.
Yeah.
I don't think that from what I've noticed in this, like the Charlotte area, like anyone's been like taking an opportunity away from them just because they're girls. I think it all just maybe has to do with like who you are as a person, you know what I mean? And like what you represent, like as your brand and artist, you know? I don't think it all comes down to like you being like girl or boy, is to like what is gonna like help you get like a gig or an opportunity out here. But yes,
I've also noticed that Charlotte's very good at spreading the word. So if that ever does happen, and you know, do they really want that reputation?
Yeah.
It'll be a struggle for whoever is doing that.
Yeah. I have noticed like some promoters out here in the area try to say like, you know, because we're girls and like some people think that girls are just like pretty, that they can like brand themselves. I don't think I'm saying this right, but I have heard a big promoter from this regional area kind of just say like girls can be gimmicks just by their looks, you know what I mean, just like using their appearance to like get them gigs. And that is something that I actually have noticed, and like now that I'm thinking about it, is just kind of calling out girls, saying like, oh, like you're just getting gigs because like of your appearance kind of thing. But I don't know if that was targeted towards anyone, but it was something that I did notice, and he was someone that was a part of the Charlotte scene, but I'm not gonna like go into all the details and everything like that. But that is something that I actually did personally like experience, not for me myself, but like someone who's like a peer in like the local area, is just like, you know, so that's where I'm like, you have to stand out like in an artist level. But I have heard like someone who was like arm distance away from me saying like girls just get gigs because of like your appearance and stuff like that, trying to be a gimmick and such. So that was something that did actually like frustrate me and like other girls around me, because it's like
it undermines the hard work that some of them have put through. Because I know a lot of people, girls also, they work their ass off. Like,
yeah,
you just
exactly.
gave me a list of what you do. So, but yeah, it's quite frustrating to hear that. But at least it's getting better. At least I would like to think that it is, compared to years or decades ago.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is 100% getting better. Even just in like the past couple like years, like I feel like it's definitely taken off. Even like during COVID a little bit. Obviously, like things were shut down, but I feel like you do see more girls now like coming through the other side of COVID. Like I have noticed like a number of like girls like being involved in this industry, like just nationally. You know what I mean? Like you do see that like the numbers of like girls being involved going up for sure.
Yeah.
So for sure.
All right, let's talk a little bit about Digital Gardens. Are you excited for it?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely excited. I've been going since the beginning of it, so this is gonna be the third year. So I've been going since like I went the first year, the second year. So it's just like really amazing, like being at that festival. Like not even like thinking like, what if I played this? It kind of just happened. You know what I mean? So that like is something that is really special to me. Just like knowing that I can play this like really special festival in the city that I'm from. And also my girlfriend is playing the same day that I'm playing. She plays like a couple hours after me. If you don't know her name is Dina. So that's like really awesome. I think this is
How do
her
you spell
third.
that?
Vyna. But yeah, she plays house and techno too. I know you said that's the genre you're into and everything. So I also manage her as well. So that's something that I'm also trying to do, is like artist management. So I try to manage her as an artist and like get her like certain like gigs, or just like do like certain branding stuff for her. But so like right now I'm trying to like push her to do like a house and techno mix. But she is playing also the same day that I am. We're playing on Saturday, unless they for some reason had like changed up the scheduling. But yeah.
Nice. Was it hard to get in the lineup?
No,
you've been going for 3 years, right? Did you
Yeah.
like did you play for all those 3 years, or did you just go as a did
No.
you just attend? Is it,
Yeah, I just attend. But I have been promoting for Soma. Oh, I do promote for Soma as well. I didn't mention that earlier on in the interview. So I've been promoting for Soma since like maybe 2017, 18. So it's been a few years since they like just have known who I am. So I think just like me being a promoter and like attending their shows and Digital Gardens, just like helped me in that sense. So it wasn't really hard to get that booking. They just reached out to me.
okay. Yeah. So if you're seeing this video, make sure you catch Tuff and Vina Saturday for Digital Gardens. Oh,
Yeah, definitely.
when is it again? April 24th?
The 22nd and the 23rd.
Okay. All right. I guess that concludes our interview. Is there anything you would like to say? We kind of went a little bit over it. We're at sitting at 22 minutes right now, but that's what happens when you're having good conversations.
Yeah. I like to just like go off on rants too. I don't think there's anything as of right now. I am probably gonna like release some mixes just like for my own sake, kind of sometime this year. So just like keep an eye out for that. You know, I think I want to do like a series with like old school hip hop, just to like kind of keep that alive. And I do want to dive into the more in-house and techno realm, so I want to like put out a mix at some point with that. So that's like what I have planned for Tuff. I will have 2 new mixes for Tuff Sounds coming out with a couple of artists from the area. So that'll be like next month and the month after that. And then I think Vina is going to be releasing a mix too. I think we talked about that. I'm trying to get her to do a house and techno mix release on Tuff Sounds as well. But that's it for now. I don't think I have anything else to like really bring up.
Nice. Yeah, you send us those links and then we'll release it. We'll throw them links out. But yeah, I'm excited to hear your mixes and Vina's mixes. So like I said, just send us the links.
Oh yeah, for sure, definitely. Thank you so much for reaching out though and being interested.
No problem.
I really